The biz.
Hey listeners, welcome back to another episode of Diving Deep with the Levs here on What's the Biz 559, where we focus on helping you thrive in your relationship.
Yes, and What's the Biz focusing on strengthening the community by focusing on equipping entrepreneurs and bridging the gap between low and high socioeconomic classes so we come together in harmony.
Yes. So honey,
Hey.
how you doing, boo?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
So we're coming up on the holiday season.
Yes, we are.
We got some family traditions.
Yes, we do.
Tell them a little bit about it. What do we do as a family?
All right. Well, what we do as a marriage during the holidays is we do what we always grateful for. And we got 2 kids to prove.
Okay.
But as
we'll
a
get into that a little later.
As a family, one of the things we do as a tradition is we like to gather in a circle and we like to say what we're thankful for as a family. And so I know I'm putting you on the spot because you asked me a question.
Okay.
But what's something that you are grateful for going into the holidays?
I am grateful for our marriage.
All right. Okay.
I'm grateful to have a spouse that is willing to invest and is intentional about loving me in the way that I receive it. And I feel like we have a healthy, no, I don't feel like, I know we have a healthy marriage. And because of that, it trickles down into our kids and they get to witness that. So I feel like we're already starting out something fresh generationally that they can model after.
Okay. So that's good for the podcast. You're trying to stay on brand, on topic. All right.
That's truly what I'm grateful for. That's my number one.
I ain't tripping.
What you grateful for?
I am grateful for food. I am grateful for school, learning, family. I am grateful for my marriage. I am also grateful for sex. Sex is probably the best creation ever.
It is. We're going there. We're talking about sex already. We're just getting started. Dang, you got to warm up.
I thought you meant we were going there as like we finna go there.
No. We see what's on your mind. Look, y'all, I told him that the cat got his tongue and he just twisted up on his thinking.
Listen, I'm married.
Let's focus.
You can't expect me to think about anything other than that if my wife says that to me. And she gives me like big eyes as if she like trying to say something other than what she can say on camera.
And that's how men take things too far. So honey, let's define gratitude. Define gratitude.
Yeah. So before we jump into that, man, the holidays is just such a great time to really like kind of pull down your business mind and really embrace the time with your family, really embrace the season. It's a time to be intentional with being grateful. And so I want to make sure we all have the same understanding of gratefulness. And so I have it written out. And so I want you to take out your pens, take out your notepads or your phone, whatever you use to take notes, and write this down because it's something that I want you to see over and over and over. And so when it comes to being grateful, basically gratefulness is the quality of being thankful. There's a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. And I'll say it again. The quality of being thankful, a readiness to show appreciation for, and a readiness to return kindness. So when you start thinking of gratefulness, there's something that you're ready to do. So it's like when somebody gives you something, there's like, dang, like, thank you. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, it's not something that like, it's a drag to pull it out of your mouth to say. So I want you to understand that as we go forward in this conversation of talking about gratitude.
Okay, so I want to share with you guys some of the benefits of gratitude and what that looks like in a marriage. So expressing gratitude for your spouse, it actually strengthens your marriage, and it is associated with long-term happiness in your marriage. So people that are grateful or happier in their marriage. It also has like a healing component and effect to it. So if you're going through hard times, it has a way of helping you to overcome some of those issues when you practice this gratitude that we are talking about. And when you are thankful and grateful, it actually reframes your negative experiences into more positive ones. And of course, as my husband has been on the topic, when you are more grateful, they say the sex is better.
I like how you said that with some attitude. I like that. She said, because the sex is better. Like she know about it or something. Girl, what you
I'm
experiencing?
grateful. That's all I'm going to
What you
say.
experiencing at
I'm
home?
grateful. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Let me know. Let me know when I'm doing my job right.
Okay.
Let me know.
It has a positive effect too on your body.
It does. And so before we jump into that, like the benefits of being grateful, like when you practice being grateful, these things show up, they flow from your body, they flow from your mind, and you start to see it because it's something that you're starting to become on the inside. So it shapes your perspective on the things around you. It changes how you talk about people, it changes how you see people, and it changes how you interact with people. And so as my wife mentioned, gratefulness also has effects on the body, your physical body. And so when you're grateful, this felt sense of being grateful, it releases the hormone oxytocin, which is the love hormone, which draws you closer and it helps your bond increase between a close other. And so that's one of the benefits. Another benefit is that it directly protects against stress and depression. If you notice at times when you feel low or you feel just like you don't want to get out of bed, it's hard for you to be thankful because you're thinking about how hard it is. And so practicing thankfulness is a way that you can start to protect against stress and stress and depression. Gratefulness also is a key factor in recovering from traumatic experiences. So for those of you who have experienced maybe postpartum stress, or you were a vet,
PTSD.
Or you were in the army, or you've experienced some, type of childhood trauma. Now, we're not saying it's the cure-all. We're not saying that you're going to heal from it, but it is a buffer. It is a buffer in overcoming those traumatic experiences. And basically, there was research of people who had PTSD, and gratitude. Those who expressed gratitude had a higher self-esteem and improved daily functioning. And so when you think about your mind and just not being grateful, or if you're in a low place, it's hard for you to function daily because like your thoughts affect your physical body, like your thoughts affect your physical mood. And so when you have those low thoughts, naturally your body feels down. It feels like you have to exert great energy to do the normal things that you do in daily life. And so the last one that I want to share is there was a study of people with neuromuscular disease, and over a 21-day period, they found that those who expressed gratitude had more positive energy moods, they had better sleep, and their immune system was strengthened. Now just think about that. Like, gratitude is beyond just this vague conversation that we have. Like, gratitude can be traced down to actually having physical effects on your natural body. So I just want you to think about that as we go into a little bit more about gratitude.
So with that, of course, that's the positive things, right? Those are some of the benefits. And we also we would do you a disservice if we didn't tell you about the blockers, things that block gratitude. One of them is negativity. If you are constantly thinking on negative things about life or about your spouse, it's going to overshadow your ability to be grateful. Another one is stress. Obviously, when you're stressing, gratitude is probably the furthest thing from your mind when you're going through that. And comparison is another gratitude blocker. If you're comparing yourself, your marriage to someone else, then that's going to stir up more jealousy and envy, which is far away from the gratitude that we want you to experience.
Yeah, and I actually want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You can answer it, or you can choose not to.
Okay.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but
no.
Have you ever got caught in the negative cycle of comparison? And if so, how did that affect your gratitude?
In the negative cycle of comparison, I have got into that. I think it's easy nowadays because we have social media and everybody is showing their highlight reels, it's so easy to compare your life, your marriage to what you're seeing. And it could take away, because I feel like there's always something to be grateful for in your life, but I feel like it takes away that because in comparison, you're wanting more. Maybe it's making more, maybe it's more date nights, maybe it's whatever it is that you're comparing yourself to, their house, their car, their life. You lose sight of your own blessings that you have. And so I have been caught up in that. And it took me a while to get out of my head. I think more so it was more not something that I vocalized because I was able to kind of inwardly reflect. But what helped me to get out of that was gratitude, if I'm being honest. Just like, no, I'm thankful for what I have. Like, no, my husband loves me. No, like, it's so many different ways. And something that I don't think we've shared here, is that our son has autism. He was diagnosed. And so that's another way that would trip me up a lot, especially right after, because I'm comparing what our life should have looked like, with other kids that I see that are around his age. And so that was something that really I had to focus on the good, the strengths, the things that I admire in him and in you when it came to comparing myself or our marriage or our kids to other people. Comparison is the thief. Oh my goodness. It's the thief of joy. But that is something, just being grateful, like focusing more on, okay, let me count my blessings versus looking at someone else's.
Okay. So something that you said, like, I don't want to skip over it because I feel that a lot of people would hear that and they would say easier for you to say. So you said like you literally got over it with being grateful, and when you think about, people who are in that place to where it's hard to pull out, I'm grateful for, or I thank you. Like it's hard to do that. Yeah. It's hard to say. Not easy. It's hard to say like, man, I'm grateful when you can't see something that you're grateful for. So like, how did you pull yourself out of that place of, like, I know you said like being grateful, but like, how did you will yourself out of that place of like shifting your mind from like, getting caught in the, the cycle of comparison, and feeling like you have something less than, or feeling like your child is not up to par of, or maybe even like, dang, like I wish I could do this in this area. Like, how did you get yourself out of that?
So I'm a believer. And so I rely on scripture, the Lord, the Holy Spirit a lot. And if I'm being honest, the scripture tells us, take captive those thoughts, those negative thoughts. And that's when you say you're a believer of what? Jesus Christ, the one and only.
Okay. I'm a
Christian.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they understand.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. So that is what helped me. I think leaning into prayer, scripture, reading the word, that is what helped me. And so when a negative thought would come, it's not something that just happened overnight. It's literally a practice of gratitude. And I tend to be more of an optimistic person. So I'm sure it comes a little bit easier maybe for me than it would for someone else, especially depending where you are. If you're depressed, it's going to be hard to be grateful for anything because your view of life is skewed in those moments. But that's just my personal testimony, if you will, is that prayer, seeking the Lord, getting in his presence, allowing him to deal with me with certain areas that I knew wasn't right within my heart. And honestly, if social media, I'm noticing that I'm on it too much and it's becoming an issue and bringing up negative thoughts that are not healthy for the thriving marriage that I want, I'll take a social media break. I'll unplug. I have no problems doing that. And I feel like even that helps me when it's becoming too much. Maybe it's some people I need to unfollow and only follow people that are geared towards the things that I want to see. Okay. So that's just for me. So when a negative thought comes, holding those thoughts captive. So if a negative thought come, okay, well, my son's not going to be able to do this, or he should be able to do this, then I'm going to combat that negative thinking, know, and remind myself of the promise and of what God has said. So if I get a negative thought, then that's how I personally combat the negative thinking or the comparison and being more grateful.
So I'm thinking that when you said that you're a believer of Jesus Christ, I'm thinking that there might be some people who might be hard to listen to what you have to say after that. So I want to make it applicable to even those people who don't share the same faith as you.
Yeah, go ahead. You do that.
you mentioned this idea of basically guarding your mind and like filling your mind with something that is conducive to what you want to believe or how you want to see. You know, so for example, like you want to believe that your son is amazing, and yeah, he's not like any other kids, but there are qualities about him that excel. So basically there's this thought that you kept reminding yourself of that was conducive to how you wanted to see or how you wanted to believe. So when it comes to gratitude, when there's things, and I want to make it applicable to gratitude, when you think about gratitude, if there's something that you aren't grateful for, like you can find literally something about anything to be grateful for, whatever it is. Like it doesn't matter if like you got stuck in the bathroom at the airport and missed your airplane. Like you, Lord, like, or man, I'm grateful that I am alive. I'm grateful that I was able to use the bathroom. Like you can find gratitude for anything. And so
the little things.
For the little things. And it's just a matter of like making sure that you understand that like in your mind, like you can be grateful. You can find reasons to be grateful. And so just kind of going back to what you were sharing earlier about just like the blockers, like comparison is just one of those blockers for gratitude. So just understanding like your mindset. Another blocker is expectations, and more specifically unrealistic expectations. There's these expectations that you have of your partner, expectations that you have of yourself as a spouse. You expect your partner to do the dishes the way you want them to do them, and they're not as clean. They don't clean as good as you do. And so instead of, saying that is like something that's stopping you from being grateful, Lord, thank you, I got a spouse that's trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they might not clean as good as you want, as clean as you do, but they're still giving effort. They're still cleaning. Another thing is busyness. Like if you're constantly going, it's hard for you to slow down and practice gratitude, because gratitude is a slowing down process that makes you aware of the here and now, and you can reflect on the past, and and you can envision the future. Like it causes you to slow down in the moment. And when you're busy, your mind is going and is skipping over all of the processes. Like you can be going and tell yourself like, man, I'm grateful for this and that, but it doesn't really seep into your heart if you don't slow down.
Slow down and smell the roses. If we're being honest, when you're busy, you're not thinking about being grateful. You're thinking about the next thing I got to get done on my to-do list.
Slow down. And enjoy the moment, whether it's for 3 seconds, 3 minutes, whatever it is. Slow down and appreciate the time. And so the next one is unresolved conflicts. Because you get stuck on the fact that your partner or you can't seem to get over the situation you're constantly butting heads with, it's imperative to make sure that you still find a reason to be grateful. One of the traps that I find marriages get caught in, especially those that have been married for a while, is they start to look at the small things that become big issues that overlook the good things. So the reasons you got married, because your spouse, she's beautiful, because she's a caring person, she has a wonderful heart, she loves her family, like because she's a go-getter, whatever reasons you got married for, like they start to be overlooked by, oh man, she don't pick up her drawers out of the bathroom, or man, like I wish she took baths every day, but she only takes baths when she really gets sweaty. Like whatever it is, like those small issues overlook all the big things. And so they start to lead to these this pattern of when something like goes wrong, like you get stuck there and it's hard for you to be grateful and notice the good things. And I would say the last one is materialism. Basically, this is where like you're always wanting more. You're always wanting the next best thing. And actually, that's one of the trends of our country when it comes to capitalism, is that there's always better, there's always more. And so you should find a way to be grateful for what you have. Like what you have is what has caught your heart. Even if you want more or want better, like you can literally use your marriage to get more out of life, get better things out of life. And I'm talking about in relationship to your partner. Like you can grow your marriage. You can be more intentional to be better in your marriage. Like your love can grow deeper in marriage. Yeah. Like your fun can be extraordinary in your marriage. Yeah. Like you can, all the things that you are looking for, like you can have a better house with the same marriage. Like you don't have to replace your marriage or your relationship to get better. Yeah. And so I just want to let that be known.
That's good, honey. Really, really good. Snaps fingers.
No.
There was a study done, and it was on couples who had been together for over 20 years. And what this study showed is that if the partner was grateful for the spouse, grateful for the relationship in general, even if they didn't express that, like if I didn't tell you about the things that I'm grateful for, you would still have a sense of marital satisfaction just because I am grateful inwardly with my thoughts and my thinking pertaining to you and our relationship.
Okay, so you saying gratitude like extends outside of the self and into the other person just by you being grateful.
Yeah, because think about it. If I'm inwardly grateful and I'm always thinking all the different ways that I'm grateful for you, then eventually that's going to be shown outwardly. I'm going to tell you, it's going to appear in the way that I show up, in the way that I serve you, in the way that I love you. It changes my whole attitude when I'm an attitude of gratitude. That's what you need right there. But yeah, so it would show up in all things inwardly. And a lot of times we are looking for our spouse to give us a reason to be grateful. Like, I need some inspiration for the gratitude that I'm supposed to be feeling. But it's our responsibility to seek out the good that's in our spouse to be grateful for. And like we've been saying, there's always something to be grateful for in your spouse.
Absolutely. And so you're probably thinking, like, how do I find this gratefulness? Like, I'm so used to seeing things and pointing out the negative. Like, I've even got good at identifying problems within relationships, within business. Like, how do I start to develop this perspective of gratitude? And so we're going to give you a few tips. And the first thing is to build an awareness. Start looking for the things that are the things that you can be grateful about. Like in your marriage, there's always things that you can be grateful for. In your relationship, there's always things that you can be grateful for with your partner. Start looking for those. Like, you're looking for them to mess up. You're looking for them to make mistakes. You're looking for them to fall short. Like, you're looking for them to not clean the dishes all the way. Like, you're looking for them to not clean out the car because it's always messy. Whatever the case may be, like, you can find things to be grateful for. So just make sure that you look at those and appreciate them. Like, start developing the language of appreciation. Yeah. So like when your spouse does something that you might not completely agree with, like, honey, like, I really appreciate you taking the time to take the kids to school, even though they were late. Even though you got them there 30 minutes late.
Wait a minute. You can't be sarcastic in your gratitude.
I'm not being
completely. I'm not being even though they were late, that takes away everything you just said.
Even though the kids got there late, I'm like, this is the mindset of the person who's being appreciated or who's being appreciative. Like, even though the spouse got them there late, you're appreciative that they took them and you didn't have to take them.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So there's always something to be grateful for. So start looking for that, identifying it, and start appreciating whatever that is. Yeah. And then the next one is express gratitude to yourself and to others. Like, just get in a habit of, like, I appreciate you. Like, I appreciate you for blank.
Yeah.
And it'll start shifting your perspective on those things that are good. Yes. And so I'll let you get into the next one, because I think this one is probably
More so pertaining to women.
Not
probably.
pertaining to
You don't think
women.
so?
No. I think there are men who do this too, but I'm
Okay.
just saying this is your area. Like this is where I find
this
you.
is my thing right here.
Yeah, this is where I find you retreating to a lot. So I'll let you do it.
Journaling. If you take time to journal what you're grateful for, you can do 3 things today that I'm grateful for pertaining to your marriage, specifically your spouse, your life. But we're talking about marriage here and the way that it affects you. If you do that daily, maybe let's start with weekly. Maybe daily is too much to commit to right now. But if you do that weekly, then it gives you something that when the moments are tough, then you have something to revisit and reflect and look back on to see like, oh, okay, he getting on my nerves today, but I really do like him. And here he is. Oh, he's compassionate. Oh, okay, he loves me. He's intentional. Whatever it is that you have written in your gratitude, you can remind yourself of that in some of the tougher moments. So journaling what you're grateful for is another expression of sharing that.
And one of the things that my wife is saying is like, whatever you look for, you'll find.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you notice, but when you're walking or if you're driving, like if you're looking over your left shoulder, you'll tend to drift to the left side. So whatever you set your eyes on, that's what you'll find. So if you're looking for things to be appreciative of, then you'll find things to be thankful for. And the last thing that I really want to leave you all with is this idea that comes from Robert Emmons. He's a gratitude researcher at the University of California, Davis. And he says that the motion of gratitude can trigger the emotion of gratitude.
Fake it till you make it.
In other words, fake it till you make it. The motion, the movement of gratitude can jumpstart the emotion or trigger the emotion of gratitude. And so when you don't feel like it, do it. It's the idea of self-discipline. Like the more you're disciplined to be grateful, the more you're disciplined to find the good things, you'll start to shape your perspective to see the glass half full rather than half empty.
Yeah.
And you'll start to appreciate the little things more. Because what's the point of being in a marriage? What's the point of being in a business, even if you're in your business with your spouse? What's the point of having kids if you can't find things to be grateful for? If you're always bitter, if you're always complaining, if you're always talking to your homegirl about what your spouse or what your boyfriend or what your girlfriend did wrong, like what you're doing is you're creating negative perceptions of you and your partner. And then when you ask for genuine advice, it's going to be hard to give it to you because you've already you're not geared to be in that place to receive it. So start doing it now. As my wife said, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like we know a lot of people don't like to believe in that because I'm so real. Like I ain't fake. Like I get it. I really do. But the idea is to be intentional.
It's like a muscle. You have to work that thing out. If it doesn't come naturally for you to be grateful and to practice gratitude with your spouse or to share how much you appreciate them, value them, or what you're thankful for, start doing that thing. And then you begin to strengthen that muscle to where it will come more naturally. And I think that's why he said, like, the motion of it will trigger the emotion to where it is genuinely coming from a good place. But try writing a thank you note. Try telling them, I appreciate you, or focus on what did he do or what did she do today that you're grateful for. And then it will become more natural for you because not everybody has that perspective.
That's a good point. However, it's more comfortable for you, start off doing that. I am a great writer. Like, I'm good with my words, but when it comes to writing, like I can listen, I'll write the paint off the walls. And I love writing letters. I love leaving little notes around the house for my wife.
I love it too.
I will write something before I say it. So whatever is comfortable for you, do that. And as we're closing, if you find it hard to be gracious, or you found yourself in a situation where you just feel like gratitude is not possible, especially going into a season where you want to be grateful, listen, reach out to us. Under this video in the comments, you could message us. You can go to our Instagram at LevLove, L3VLOVE, and you can reach out to us there.
Yes.
Like if you need people to help guide you through this season, reach out.
Yes.
Because we know when it's hard to be thankful, thoughts like suicide, depression, like all those things creep in and your life is too valuable to lose it.
Yes.
Like, we need you here to be your best self for those around you.
Yes.
So if you're having trouble, if you're having struggles with your mental health, please reach out to us or reach out to somebody. Don't just sit in those emotions and sit in those
silently.
thoughts and dwindle away. We need you.
Yes, we do.
So do you have anything you want to close on that?
No, I think you have said it all, honey. I think we touched on everything. Just keep an attitude of gratitude in this season of thankfulness and be intentional about sharing that with your spouse. And I guarantee you, we already mentioned all the benefits that you can see, and your marriage will reap the benefit of that gratitude. So be intentional about that. We believe that a thriving marriage is for you.
Absolutely.
If you haven't liked and subscribe to What's the Biz 559 and follow on all social media platforms. And thank you for watching. We are so honored that you would click this video.
Absolutely. Have a good one.